Okay, any other events coming up that you wanted to talk about?
Not at the Starlite, but in the Bay Area, for example, there are 4 or 5 main events where people get dressed to the max and go out and perform. They watch professionals from all over the country and from all over the world come and perform. And it's a fine evening.
I imagine that would be really an entertaining kind of thing just to watch it.
A lot of people do.
Real professional dancers, gliding across the floor. Which brings something up. Is there competition in nightclub dancing as well as in ballroom dancing?
It's at these events like the International Grand Ball, and one coming up fairly soon here is called the Autumn Classic, which is an annual event. They're held in big hotels with a big ballroom. Most of the dances that the competitors compete in are the traditional dances. You'll see the amateurs compete in the West Coast Swing, for example, and in dances that might be danced to a popular song, a top 40 song. Again, not to give Elton John a whole lot of credit here, but he has another song out now called Sacrifice, and people in our little circle do a dance called the rumba to that.
Which
dance.
we've all heard of.
Yes, sure.
Haven't done, but we've heard of it. Typically, what are these competitions like? I think, my own feelings towards that has been tinged by movies, like Last Tango in Paris, where it seems very austere, sort of stark, very serious kind of affair.
Right.
Can you have fun at a competition?
Oh yeah, you can even be in the competition and have fun. It doesn't have to be cutthroat or real tense and nerve-wracking. Dancers can compete at all levels, from a category called newcomer, where they've had, say, less than 25 or 50 private lessons, to bronze, silver, and gold as students or amateurs. And then there's also professional categories as well, where the teachers compete against one another. And
I imagine there's a certain amount of prestige in coming back with an award from that. If
absolutely.
Starlight Ballroom had, a trophy case, would be
right.
in your favor. Where else would people learning nightclub dancing be able to show off the steps that they've learned in your classes?
Nightclubs that play top 40 music. In this area, you might go to Remington's, you might go to Renzo's in Campbell, the Fairmont Hotel downtown. You could do the Latin dances at a new club on Stevens Creek Boulevard called Images. So there's lots of places that are around that provide this kind of music that you can really dance to.
And the competitions, where could someone see or participate if they knew what they were doing in a competition?
The competitions are open to the public generally. Sometimes they're sold out.
Now these are the local ones?
The local Bay Area competitions. The next one coming up is called the Autumn Classic, and it's going to be held in the San Francisco Hilton Hotel, the San Francisco Airport Hilton Hotel. And I believe tickets might still be available for that event. It's the last weekend in October, Saturday and Sunday.
Okay. Now these are still regional competitions. Are there state competitions, national competitions?
When we say regional competitions, I don't mean to give you the idea that one competes in San Francisco and then moves to LA and then moves to New York and then moves to Miami. Competitors can compete at any of these places in a variety of different levels.
Open competitions.
They're open competitions. The national championships are held in Miami, Florida currently for the U.S., and international competitions are usually held in Blackpool.
What is an international competition like?
I've not been, to tell you the truth. That's a...
But who, I mean, it has to be Fred Astaire that gets to that level.
Well, these would be dancers that have worked on their dancing for years and years and years. They're already professionals.
These are performers, I guess. Or
these are people that have worked their way up the ranks from student to teacher to professional and now professional competitor.
Mm-hmm. How did you get your start in professional dancing?
Well, I'm really not a professional dancer, although I am considered an instructor. It's been my hobby. The business is more my profession than the dancing. Building the Starlight Ballroom, conceiving of the idea and building it and getting it staffed and all of that is more my contribution to the whole thing. I just love dancing.
Where did you start? You start with dancing then?
Like I said, when the disco days were kind of dying down, I did a little disco dancing. When they were dying down, I was so sad because the disco dancing was so much fun for me. I just started going to studios, dance studios, you know, like Arthur Murray, Fred Astaire kind of places.
Now these were strictly classes, right?
Private lessons or schools. They're strictly dance schools.
Okay.
And they'd have a dance party for their students, but that's basically all that was available at the time. But I learned how to dance there. I met Nancy Cortez at a dance studio, and we conceived the idea of forming a club of young people to meet on a regular basis, once a week basis.
So really your primary motivation from the very beginning was fun that you have dancing, I guess.
Fun.
And it turned into business.
Yes, absolutely. The fun of dancing, the romance, the easy opportunities for meeting and socializing.
And the dressing up, it seems to me, I don't know, maybe I'm tinged by too many movies where people are always in tuxedos. Does dressing up have anything to do with the popularity, this new popularity of nightclub dancing?
I'd say you rarely dress up for example, coming to the Starlight on any weekend, you would.
What do people dress up like?
Casual, usually. Not jeans, but smart casual clothes would be typical attire.
So what you'd say is that people come for this kind of dancing, at least for nightclub dancing, are coming to be comfortable, to have a good time and be comfortable.
Sure. They dress up no more than they would to go to a nightclub.
For the ballroom dancing classes, is it any different? Do people come more formally?
Less dressed.
Less dressed?
Yeah, at the classes they're less dressed. On the weekends we turn the lights down and it's a nightclub kind of a lighting or nightclub ambiance. During the week we have the lights bright so that you can see the instructor well and not miss anything that's going on.
Where is the Starlight Ballroom? We haven't mentioned
that. Very close to Moffett Field. Practically in the middle of Moffett Field and Great America Park, right between those two places.
So you're in Sunnyvale or Santa Clara there?
Sunnyvale.
Okay.
Sunnyvale, at the corner of Fair Oaks and Tasman Boulevard.
So they would probably take 101 from anywhere around here.
Right.
Would you agree, we've mentioned Dirty Dancing, would you agree that recent movies like Dirty Dancing, now I'm fumbling to think of another one, but have they influenced this new popularity of nightclub dancing?
Let me say that they certainly added to it. Nightclub dancing was already going on before Dirty Dancing came out, but after Dirty Dancing was out and popular, we noticed a lot more interest in our nightclub dance classes, and our party attendance doubled for quite a while right after the movie. The reason you're finding a hard time thinking of another one, there hasn't been a real memorable dancing movie since the movie Dirty Dancing.
Well, I can think of flash dance and things like that, but they really didn't use...
Is
that right?
Yeah, and they didn't use partner dancing in flash dance.
So
that's the big difference.
Is that what you refer to it as? Really, ballroom and nightclub dancing are partner dancing, as opposed to, I don't know. What do you classify the whole other kind of dancing?
We call it freestyle dancing, where you're dancing apart from your partner, and you're doing your own thing, and she's doing her own thing.
Does any of that ever go on?
Not at the Starlight, no. Once you discover how you can move, holding a person in your arms and move to the music, both of you in sync, moving as a unit. It's an experience, so you stick with it. You don't want to go back to the other kind of dancing.
So people who take this kind of dancing and become somewhat proficient at it, stick to it? Would you say that that's fairly
pretty much, yeah.
Have you had any outstanding students? Have you had any people go into competitions from Starlight Ballroom?
We've had students become teachers. Nancy became a teacher. She was a student at one time. None that you and I would recognize or the public would recognize, but yes.
People have graduated from just learning to actually showing this off somewhere in competition. This is as good a time as any to introduce Nancy. Why don't you bring her up and you can introduce, we've already said a lot about her. Why don't you come on up here? We're going to have a demonstration now. And go ahead, you're wired, but she's not.
Okay, well, this is Nancy, and Nancy is an instructor at the Starlight Ballroom and also going to help me demonstrate a couple of dances that we would categorize as nightclub dances and dances that we are teaching the De Anza students.
Okay, if we can get the music, can we have that, bring that in? A little louder? Okay, is that the right one?
This is the right song. This is music that's currently called Salsa, and we would do a dance that is a takeoff of the mambo to this music. So here goes a little salsa.
Yo no perdono el tiempo, porque el tiempo me robó. Mi niñez, mi juventud, y en un viejo me volvió. Yo no perdono el tiempo, porque el tiempo me enseñó todo lo bueno del mundo y después me lo quitó. La experiencia que me dio de nada me servirá. A la tumba me la llevo y en la tumba quedará. Yo no perdono el tiempo porque el tiempo me engañó.
Thank you.
That was really wonderful. I know that I could never do that now. Okay, no way.
You'd be surprised.
You're going to do a second one for us.
There's another
Introduce
dance that has been dubbed about 10 years ago called a two-step. It moves quite a lot like the salsa, and most of the patterns are very close. Yet the music is surprisingly different. If you could play that two-step music that we brought, I'll
Okay.
show you how the two-step looks.
When the fear sets in, where the fire burns, where I find a place where there's nowhere to turn. When the evening sings an eerie song, longing for the day, you say I'm wrong. You can find your place, but never fit in. And only when you've left do you know where you've been. I can see the light, but only when it's gone. You can go on waiting, but only for so
Well,
long.
I think that just about wraps it up for De Anza Dialogue. You're going to keep on dancing, I hope. And I hope that you tune in next week, same time, same channel. We'll have a different dialogue.